Hello, everyone. Today, the U.S. Social Security system unveiled some historic information that will profoundly affect more than 65 million recipients. Across the country, watch the entire video to learn about the most recent Washington developments, including the thrilling announcement that there will be an increase in benefits for many. Don't forget to hit the like button, it really helps. And don't forget to subscribe. It's completely free. Now, let's dive right in. I'm excited to share this good news with you. Social Security is one of the most important federal government programs in the United States. Is at last taking action to provide retirement and disability benefits in a more efficient manner now. For millions of seniors nationwide, May 31st is a big day because the Social Security Administration is giving them sizable checks that might total up to $4,800. Numerous people have previously discussed their experiences, let us know that you have received these important funds. While it's encouraging to see the system benefiting those who have contributed throughout their lives, some people have contacted me to express concern over false information they've heard about Social Security. Let me reiterate. Social Security receives compensation in exchange for retirees have earned these benefits via hard labor, paying taxes, and receiving no other kind of compensation. Today is the day to check your correspondence if you were born between the 21st and the 31st of any given month. The federal government is only carrying out its promise to these hardworking employees, the banks where your Social Security benefits are kept. Furthermore, because the timetable coincides with the end of the week, recipients of Supplemental Security Income, SSI, should anticipate receiving 2 payments in May. This is not an error, and money does not need to be returned. Social Security income differ depending on your age at the beginning of your claim and your income during the last 35 years of highest paid. The average reward is approximately $1,900. The maximum can be much greater, particularly for individuals who continue to work above the age of 70, even with the yearly increments to reflect inflation. Given the state of the economy, many believe these changes are insufficient. However, the Social Security 2100 Act, supported by politicians like Johnston, is a welcome step. This law would guarantee that pensioners receive a genuine rise, not merely an inflation adjustment, by proposing a much-needed boost in benefits. Larson highlights that this improvement has been long overdue, particularly since so many Americans depend on Social Security for their income. Now let's examine the specifics of the Social Security system and the variables that affect benefit adjustments. As previously mentioned, a number of variables, including your age at the Social Security benefits, are determined by the date of claim and your earnings history over the 35 highest paid work years. For individuals who retired at age 62, the maximum benefit is approximately $2,710. However, for those who wait until age 70, the maximum benefit is approximately $2,710. In order to be eligible for benefits, up to $4,875. These numbers highlight the value of careful retirement planning because when you claim benefits will determine how much you get paid each month. But it's also important to understand that the annual increases in Social Security benefits, sometimes known as the cost of living modifications, COLAs may not always match the actual inflation that seniors saw in January. The average payout was $1,900. But if they don't keep up with rising costs, these payments will eventually lose buying power. This leads us to the crucial problem regarding inflation and how it affects retired people. When inflation surpasses the amount of money Social Security recipients are paid, it can reduce their purchasing power and make it more difficult for them to pay for necessities like food. Inflation is defined as the consistent rise in the average price level of goods and services over time. As nourishment, housing, and medical attention, significant inflationary pressures have been plaguing the U.S., and these pressures have been made worse by things like supply chain disruptions. As the economy recovers from the COVID-19 epidemic, rising energy costs and growing demand have created inflationary pressures that have driven up prices in a number of sectors, burdening household budgets, particularly for retirees on fixed incomes. As we anticipate future changes to benefits and caps, it's important to take the larger economic environment and inflationary pressures into account. Projections indicate a slight increase in Social Security benefits in the near future. Let's turn our attention to current legislative measures targeted at resolving the long-standing issue of Social Security benefit increases. For years, policymakers must be vigilant in addressing seniors' actual requirements and ensuring that their benefits maintain pace with the cost of living. Among the noteworthy suggestions is the Social Security 2100 Act, sponsored by Congressman John Larson, is a comprehensive piece of legislation that aims to improve benefits for all beneficiaries of the Insurance Corporation of America, ICI, and strengthen the Social Security system. It represents the first significant increase in 50 years. At its core, the Act is dedicated to guaranteeing the long-term viability of the initiative, while offering much-needed assistance to pensioners who are struggling financially, in addition to efforts to remove the government pension offset GOPO and the windfall elimination provision W, which have unfairly harmed particular groups of people. The law also proposes a 2% increase in benefits overall. Gainers. With millions of Americans depending on Social Security as a primary source of income during retirement, Congressman Larson's passionate support for Social Security reform underscores the urgent need for action to address the systemic issues facing retirees. Ensuring the program's solvency and adequacy is paramount to protecting their financial security. Financial security. But Congressman Larson aptly points out that there is a sharp party split on how to pay for benefit upgrades, especially when it comes to plans to raise taxes on high-income earners. As a result, passing significant Social Security reform will not be easy. Republicans in particular have shown resistance. The debate over Social Security reform highlights broader ideological differences regarding the role of government in providing social safety nets and addressing income inequality, with Democrats supporting measures to expand and strengthen Social Security, while Republicans support tax increases, citing concerns about economic competitiveness and individual freedom. Republicans make the case for proponents of Social Security reform center their argument around two key questions. First, what is the goal of Social Security? And second, who should pay for it? Their answers center on market-based solutions and minimal government involvement in retirement planning. The response is evident. The Social Security system is a crucial lifeline for millions of retirees who have contributed to the system during their working years, and it is the responsibility of society to guarantee its sufficiency and sustainability. So there you have it. The discussion around Social Security benefits remains heated in Washington, with lawmakers debating the right course of action. But beneath all the economic spin and political rhetoric is a basic reality. Millions of Americans depend on Social Security as a lifeline, a promise given to them following years of employment and social service. As we've covered, the difference between a raise and, while cost of living increases may appear like a positive move, they frequently fall short of keeping up with the constantly rising costs of living. Therefore, an increase in Social Security payments is needed. Growing wave of inflation. We genuinely require a significant rise that is in line with the glimmer of hope in this debate can be found in Representative John Larson's Social Security 100 Act, which proposes a 2% increase in benefits across the board and addresses issues such as the government pension offset GOPO and windfall elimination provision. The Act also guarantees our seniors security and dignity in an evolving economic landscape. It aims to give millions of Americans who have watched their spending power decline over time real relief. But as we have seen, reaching an agreement is hampered by ideological differences. Republicans and Democrats disagree about taxing high-income earners in order to support Social Security. Trust fund. Notwithstanding the larger conceptual divides in our approaches to social welfare programs, it's important to keep in mind the real people who are behind the statistics: retirees, the crippled, widows, and widowers who depend on Social Security as a right rather than a handout. Thank you for joining us as we explore Social Security benefits. As we traverse the complexities of policy debates, let's never lose sight of the real impact our decisions have on the lives of average Americans. Social Security payments are an entitlement earned through decades of hard labor and devotion. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to receive updates on all of our upcoming conversations. Until then, be careful and knowledgeable.